Hello everyone, Benair here with a Legends of Runeterra reaction video. It is spoiler season once again. We got new cards out and a new trailer for the upcoming expansion to Legends of Runeterra. Without further ado, this is part 3 of a trailer series that has come out for the past 2 expansions. So I'm really looking forward to seeing it. So let's see if it gives any... usually in every one of these trailers, they give hints on what champions are coming out. So let's take a look at it, and then we'll jump straight into the new cards.
Vandal Scouts are taught that if you're not ready for everything, you're not ready for anything.
Yep, Gnar. Oh no. Oh, Yumi, okay. Slightly showing it.
But the best adventures are usually the ones you never expected to take. So, I think it's okay to not have all the answers. You just need the courage to keep looking.
Aww.
Oh, and friends to keep you out of trouble while you do. I can't wait to see where the next journey leads.
Okay, that's adorable. That's cute. And on a slightly, well, in my opinion, a much more important note, I'm pretty sure, you know, I might overanalyze a bit here. I might be looking too much into it, but I think, possibly, that we might be getting Gnar and Yumi in this upcoming expansion. But what do I know? What do I know? No, thumbs up on the video. Very nice. Let's jump onto the Twitter, because they do not have a champion reveal video. That should be tomorrow. But we do got some new cards here today. Not a ton, but we will go over what we can. Alright, first of all, A Curious Journey, I believe, is going to be the name of this expansion. So, first cards of The Curious Journey, we have Hothead, which is a 3-mana 4/2 Yordle, Bandle City Shurima. With attack, grant the top champion in your deck +1/+1 and a random keyword. Oh, I like that. All right, grant the top champion in your deck +1/+1 and a random keyword. A 4/2 for 3. Who does this work best with though? Sorry. Really though, like, real talk, best champion for that. I mean, granting +1/+1 specifically to the next champion is not bad at all. Champions are kind of the key cards in the deck. I'm just trying to think, like, Renekton would really appreciate it. Nasus actually wouldn't mind it too much, having just additional keywords. Akshan would not mind. And then it's also... But at the end of the day, it's also a Bandle City card, so you can put this into just about any deck, any region. So Garen likes getting permanent buffs, and extra keywords are great. Spell Shield on Garen. Taric wouldn't mind getting a little chunkier. That's actually one way to look at it, is champions that kind of have maybe not the best stat line. Fiora would actually love this buff. Fiora's had her HP nerfed a lot recently. So having +1/+1 and a few extra random keywords. Like, if you could get even just +1/+1 and then something that, like, what keyword is actually... Impact. Like, Fiora doesn't care about impact. She wants to kill the unit herself. Like, even if you just gave Fiora +1/+1, making her a 4/3 with impact might be worth it, because Fiora's the only champion in the deck anyway, so I could see it maybe. I could see this having some Fiora potential. And a few other champions. Tark also jumps to mind heavily. Any of the big beat stick champions. Darius, not so much Scion, though that works. Garen, would love it. You could also put it with Aurelion Sol, I guess, and make him even more redonkulous, maybe give him Overwhelm. But the thing is, this is a general card. It's not amazing, it's not... I see it, the issue with the card not so much being its effect, but what deck does it put in? What deck do you want to give specifically the champion, which might be 8 cards deep in your deck, a buff? I don't know. But worth consideration, I think, at the end of the day. Next thing we got is Transposition, a Bandle City card, 4 mana fast speed spell. Recall an ally. The next ally you play this round with equal or less cost costs 0 instead. Ooh. Ooh, that's big. That has the potential to be really big, actually. Because you could play, give me a second, I need to look up this card. Alright, my thought is 9 lives. That's the card I was trying to think of. I could not remember it. But, it's a little bit of cheeky potential, don't get me wrong. But what you can do is, turn 3, you can play a 9 lives, right? And you summon this guy. And then you play this new 4 mana spell, Transposition, and you bounce it back to your hand. And then you can play a 5-drop unit right off the get-go, like right then and there. It also works with something like... But no, with Remembrance, you can create a 5-drop follower in hand, pop it back to your hand, and then play a 5-drop follower for free. This is trying to be cheeky with it, admittedly. Like, this is just trying to... The fact of the matter is, it's if you use this on a 4-mana creature, it is a free recall. Now, you have to invest the 4 mana into it, but that's still pretty good. I like this a lot. I don't think you will run a lot of copies of this card, but I think that there will be a couple of decks that can make this work. Ari and Kinnan decks could still see play with it. I don't think it's as good in those, because those decks already run a bunch of cheap, low-cost units, which means if you pay 4 mana, recall a 2-cost unit, you can now play a 2-cost unit for free. This is a 2-mana recall spell, but it costs you 4, technically. Though I suppose even if you play just recall, that's 1 mana, recall your Ari, play it again for 2, that's 3 mana. It's a higher investment, but more efficient. You have to keep 4 mana in reserve, and that's the issue, right? Like keeping 4 mana in reserve is harder than it sounds in recall decks. Decks usually can play at a very fast tempo if they only have to keep their 3 spell mana open. But maybe it can see work. I'd have to experiment around with it, but it's not a bad card at all. I like it. Next up, we have Heroic Refrain. 3 mana burst build. Give 2 allies +2/+1 this round. Burst speed, Bandle City. It's not Brothers Bond. It's the one we got from Targon. It does the exact same thing for the same amount of mana, except gives +1/+2. This gives +2/+1. It's an alright spell. It's a nice combat trick for 3 mana. Gives good amount of stats. I think it's fine. I don't got much to say about this one. It's a decent little comment. Moving on. Spirit Portal. 4 mana focus speed spell, Bandle City. To play, discard 1. Grant all allies +1/+1. This, for 4 mana to grant all allies +1/+1. I'm not really seeing this one, if I'm being honest. I was trying to think for discard support, maybe, but at 4 mana, giving all allies +1/+1 sounds nice. But I'd rather play Visions and discard it to give all my allies +1 attack for free instead of playing this by discarding another card. Though I suppose if you discarded Visions with this, it technically reads discard a card to give all allies +2/+1. But being at focus speed is its issue. If this was a burst speed card, it would see play in discard decks. I am positive of that. But as like a combat trick, haha, my stuff doesn't die. I give it all +1/+1 at burst speed. But at focus speed, it's good for an open attack, I guess, which is still pretty good. It's not terrible. I just don't quite see the synergy with it yet. I just don't think +1/+1 for 4 mana is worth it. Even a permanent +1/+1. I just don't see it. Next card we got is Yordle Portal. For 3 mana, burst speed. To play, discard 1, manifest a Yordle that costs 3 or less, and summon it. Wait, what? Okay. To play, you discard 1. And then you manifest, which means it shows you 3 Yordles that cost 3 or less. If I remember manifest correctly, it's the you get to pick one of 3. So you get 3. It shows you 3 Yordles that cost 3 or less. You pick one of them and you summon it into play. Burst speed. Summon a unit. How good is that? How good is this card? Wow. I mean, if you get Bandle City Mayor, and it is a summon effect. So if you get something like let's go to the old. So if we go here and we type in Yordle, I spelled Yordle wrong. L-E. And we want all regions. So ignore the champions. That means, and we're going to say that costs, just limit it down to these. Alright. So, what's our high end here? What's some of our high end Yordles? I mean, bursting in a Mentor of Stones actually can be very good. Trevor Snoozebottom can be alright. Alright, he is play manifest, so you won't get his, you won't get to manifest twice, but you will get, the discount effect. This one, Babbling Balladeers, will get you a 2/4 that when summoned will create a Hungry Owlet in hand. You can get him. Yordle Smith's alright. Arena Kingpin's okay. I'm really having a hard time. Actually, Cloud Stance in hand. I'm having a hard time seeing like any big, powerful Yordles that... I'm having a hard time seeing enough powerful Yordles that are just standard good that you can get. Like, if they say play, they're kind of discounted. They're just their base stats, because you won't get their play effect with this card. You, Bandle Commando's pretty good. Arena Bookie... Nope. Bomber Twins works. Gus Monk works, but all these play effects just don't work. And a lot of them are also very archetype specific, so I just don't think that they are that good. Yordle Portal, I'm just having a hard time because of the discard effect. See, I know it had to have the discard effect, 3 mana, summon a 3, burst in a 3-cost unit. It's just too much efficiency. I just don't see if I'd run it in a discard archetype. So, if I won't run it in a discard deck, I have a hard time imagining running it anywhere. Though I do like seeing more burst-in effects. I do like seeing that, but I just don't think it's good enough. 1 mana, manifest a Faye and grant it +1/+1. Well, let's look back here. Let's go to Faye. Faye, what is did I just spell Faye wrong? F-A. I'm mildly dyslexic. Don't worry. Okay, so ignore the Bandle Commando, the Faye Blade Twirler, who is in fact a Yordle. So, as of now, we only have Flower Child, Pix, Loping Telescope, and Tasty Fae Folk. Though, if we're getting Yuumi and in this expansion, we're probably getting more Faye support when she comes out. But just looking at the cards right now, 1 mana, look at 3 different Fae. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 Fae right now. There are only 4 Fae cards, which means I think the math comes out to what? That you get one of the 3, so that's a 75% chance to 66% chance to get the one you're looking for, which is high odds. It's really high. And so you can look at it as almost in a way you have a high chance of going, I am going to get the card I need, and it's going to get +1/+1. And it goes to your hand, so you can pick Loping Telescope. For 1 mana, turn 1, you can pay 1 mana, get a Loping Telescope that's a 3/2, and play it to manifest itself, to get its own manifest card, because it does go to your hand. Or, late game, if you need life gain, you can pay 1 mana, 4 mana total to get a 5/3 life linker, like lifesteal. Like, that's actually good. Faye Sprout seems pretty good. With specifically, actually, it seems really good because there are so few Faye cards, and Loping Telescope and Tasty Fae Folk are both great, and even Pix as a 1/3 for 1 that gives 2/1 worth of stats isn't the worst. Though you really have to whiff hard. Like, you're picking one of these 2. You're guaranteed to get either Loping Telescope or Tasty Fae Folk, even if the other 2 are Pix and Flower Child, which means that even if you wanted Loping Telescope, you can take a Tasty Fae Folk and get a 5/3 lifesteal for 3. That seems pretty good to me. I actually like this card a lot, and I'll come back and reevaluate it once we get more fakes, which I'm pretty sure we're coming with the Yuumi stuff, but we'll have to wait and see. But I like Faye Sprout. Faye Sprout seems like a really good card. Probably the best card we got so far, actually. I really like it. And then our last 4 cards, Faye Aid. 3 mana burst speed, Bandle City. Create a hungry Owlcat in hand, then grant Faye allies in hand +1/+1. Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh, hold on. Was I dumb? Okay. And we got 3 new Faye cards here, so that might instantly make me go back and change my opinion on them. But this card seems pretty good. Depending, again, it depends heavily on the Fae cards, so I'm going to come back to this one after I look at these 3 new Fae cards. We have Gleaming Lantern, which is a 3 mana 3/3 from Bandle City. Each round, the first Fae you play costs 2. Oh no! No! It's the mayor all. Okay, hold up. Calm down, Dan. Calm down. It's the mayor all over again, but they learned their lesson, and it's each round the first Fae costs 2 less. That's still really strong for a 3 mana 3/3. Like, okay, I'll come back to you. We'll reevaluate all of them together. Blast Cone Seedling, a 2 mana 2/2. Ionian Bandle City. Play Give Me Barrier this round and grant me Impact. So it's 2 mana for your choice of a 2/2 Barrier or a 2/2 Impact. They're both technically permanent effects. Barrier just innately only lasts till the end of round. So, 2 mana for a 2/2 Impact, 2 mana for a 2/2 Barrier. The versatility is nice. This card's nothing amazing. It's nothing game breaking, nothing meta defining, but it's pretty good. The utility's pretty good. You'll enjoy it when you draft it in expeditions, but it's just a pretty okay card. It has versatility, which I always like on a card, but that's about all I gotta say about it. And our last card today is we got Grandfather Faye, which is a 2 mana 1/2 Faye from Ionia Bandle City. When I'm summoned, create a Hungry Owlcat in hand. When you summon another Faye, grant it +1 attack. Boy. Okay. Let's look back at this then. What can we do with this? Turn 2. Oh. Turn 1. You Faye Sprout. There's your turn 1. Turn 2, you drop Grandfather Faye. He's just a 1/2 for 2. Let's assume he doesn't get Mystic Shotted for a second. That creates an Owlcat in hand, and you pass the turn. Turn 3 has now begun. You play Gleaming Lantern. Each round, the first Faye. I'm pretty sure the way this wording works is that you will get the discount even after it's a Faye. I don't think it looks at itself, so I don't think that if you... I'm pretty sure the game's coding is not, if you play Gleaming Lantern because it's a Faye, its own effect cancels it out. I'm pretty sure that's not the way it works. I'm pretty sure it only starts looking after it's on the field. Like Lucian. Lucian, if a Lucian effect triggers, he dies, he comes back, even though an ally has already died this round, it only starts looking after it hits the field. So yes, you can play the Gleaming Lantern and drop either the Hungry Owlcat or any of the other Fays that you manifested with the Faye Sprout, or maybe even drop another Grandfather Faye. And that Faye, this makes this a 3 mana 4/3, and your Hungry Owlcats become... Well, the first one you play is a 0 mana 3/1 with Spell Shield, which is just better. That getting Hungry Owlcats to 3 attack is a big difference. It may not sound like a game-breaking amount, and it might not be literally game-breaking, but 3 attack blocks fearsome, and a lot of key units at this early stages of the game have 3 health. That's a big difference. This Faye package right here alone, these 2, Gleaming Lantern and Grandfather Faye, are already really good. We'll have to wait to see the rest of the Faye archetype. Nothing game-breaking yet, specifically because this is first time each turn. But I really like these cards, and they're pretty good. Honestly, these first few cards up to Yordle Portal are fine, but they're nothing game-breaking. Nothing yet. But besides that, no. The Faye cards are the ones I'm really interested in. Specifically, Faye Sprout up, because Faye Aid, I don't think is going to be used at 3 mana. I only say that because I think that this is a deck that wants to be fast and quick. Bandle City's getting more fast, quick support, but it's for Fays only. Doesn't branch into Yordle, so it should be fine. But no, Faye Aid I think it's a little too slow of a buff, but it's a decent enough card. It's not terrible. It could see a little niche play. But the Grandfather Faye, Gleaming Lantern, and Faye Sprout sound really good. Because, I mean, turn 1ing Faye Sprout into turn 2 and getting a 2/3 Grandfather Faye is really good. Because it's now out of Mystic Shot range. But no, these cards look great. If I was to... Do we have... with a magical cat by its... Okay. Yeah, we're getting Faye units. Yumi's probably coming out tomorrow, so look forward to that. But no, that's pretty much all I gotta say on these cards. Thank you guys so much for watching. Look forward for tomorrow. I will have a Yumi reaction video. Have a great day, and I'll catch you next time.